Well, let's go to game 2 and see if Versace can answer back here as well. It is a best of 3, so if they can find this one, Versace, they've got one more game after this, and they could actually take Kingdom out of the chance of regionals.
And I like the style going for the second pick now for Versace. They're going to see how Kingdom really want to open up things for themselves. They can go for some counter picks if they want to, and then they have the most important last pick, which could give a solo lane counter pick for Versace, trying to shut down yoyoabc.
Very true indeed. Kingdom Esports then. Let's see where they're going to start things off here. If Versace Taskforce do what they did in the last game in their picks and ban phase, now I'm quite confident that they can go into this game in a very strong position again. I really think they just completely outdrafted Kingdom.
I think so too. The only difference I would say for their draft is just to switch the Hunbats with the Thor, allowing Rafee to get more confirmed easy hits, because we've seen actually last weekend with Soar, every time that the Raw was being played on Snoopy, Anderson will play the Thor, very easy setups. So that's something that you have to incorporate into your own game plan, just synergize off of your mid jungle.
Completely agree. However, Kingdom Esports will have recognized what Versace like to go to now with their first picks. If they've not really scrimmed them before, they'll now know what their opposition was going to plan to do. Outquang and Ratatoska ban, so jungle focus so far.
It's going to probably be more jungle bans, I would assume. So Nemesis is still available, very high priority pick for the junglers, has a decent amount of mobility and a lot of all-in potential with that god. Also has a lot of solo lane gank potential with that ultimate. It's very unexpected to see that in the early gank stages.
I'm surprised to see a Terror ban from Kingdom Esports. They could have taken that from themselves, forced Versace into it, taken something else they didn't want to play.
It's also going to throw off Versace, because if they were planning to ban out Terra, they'd be like, okay, well, what do we ban now, right?
I mean, to be fair, well, against that composition, I wouldn't ban the Chronos, maybe the Vamana. I mean, you don't have to ban the Vamana right now, but taking some ideas of the picks that they had in the jungle early on, make sure they can't do the invade strategy.
I would say Erlang Shen more than anything else.
Agreed,
because the way he was being played in the jungle role was just... it was setting up so much onto Coviiii in the mid lane playing the Hobwa, but it's going to be the Odin, which means that I think that they're baiting themselves into more of another sustained composition. We saw the last game, actually, that the Odin and the Ratatoska was banned by Versace again, and this is why they managed to pick up their heavy sustain comp.
But Kingdom not interested in the sustain. They're more interested in the Erlang Shen, the one that we suggested could have been banned, but they went with the Odin. We'll see where Versace go now. More than likely, I expect the Raw again.
More than likely, with that Odin ban, it's a very leading tell, and that's something that could be problematic for Versace in the future with this Odin ban. We actually saw in Group A, Sanguine playing in the first week of our group stages, where they banned Odin at the first stages, picking up the Raw, and it worked to great success, and that's why teams started adapting and started taking away the Raw from them, or even banning it.
Well, Athena straight off the block this time around for themselves, not going with the Geb, although Athena can be a flexible pick here, so we could see it in the support role or even the solo.
And this is a great setup for Scylla. You look for the dash taunt. You can even go for blink taunt if you really want to, so that way you have your dash just to be able to escape from danger. And that's going to allow Scylla to get off so much confirmed damage and chain CC, because the root from Scylla doesn't have any diminishing return off of the taunt from Athena.
Don't know about picking the Scylla right then and there, though. Is it really a priority pick right now? Could they have held that idea, not shown that the combo is going to be the Athena taunt into a Scylla crush combo?
There are a lot of options in terms of mage burst damage. Scylla is probably one of the highest ones, and if they're afraid of Kingdom getting this Scylla, it wouldn't be a bad idea, considering the fact that all they showed so far was this Erlang Shen. We saw Kingdom prefer these magical burst carries, the Hobwa, so you never know if that's something that they also plan. Maybe Coviiii plays the Scylla.
I mean, Kingdom's not going to give anything away here. He's going to go straight back with the salty run back for themselves here. It's not going to be salty, though. It's going to be sweet if it goes anything like game 1 there for the boys. Over to Versace then, more than likely a jungle pick this time round. Odin and Odin. Okay, so we've definitely got a small mistake in the picks and bans there. Not sure which one it's supposed to be. I'm guessing Odin has been locked in here. It's
going to be interesting to see this Odin, because it's going to be great targets to ban, to lock in these frontliners between Erlang Shen and Vamana. They can't get out with their kit. Somebody's going to have to pick up a Phantom on the side of Kingdom just to make sure. It's also going to shut down their sustain. Both of their ultimates provide a lot of healing.
And with that Odin being available and them locking it in here, not banning it away, I actually like the pick here against Erlang Shen and Vamana. Very, very strong. Stops the healing from both of them. Neither of them can actually escape the ring either, and Chronos will be forced to rewind.
It also synergizes very well with the Scylla. The Crush has a huge area of effect. You're going to get a lot of confirmed damage, even if your Athena is not available, as well as the Defender of Olympus with the Odin inside the cage.
Okay, so at the moment, I'm just going to give you an update, guys. We've had a bit of a technical issue here. Apologies for the picks and bans. We're basically going to update it any second now just to reveal it, and we'll go over all the picks and bans one more time. So just bear with us 1 second as we fix the issue here. Overall, bit of a technical issue in the back room there, but there are the picks and bans this time around. So let's go start at the top here, Toli. Hopefully the picks and bans will just keep rolling for us as we continue going through these picks and bans. So Erlang Shen here was the first pick, and then it was Chronos and Ninja. So they take the Chronos away from Zachsy.
Okay, so now I like the draft a little bit better. It makes a little bit more sense. Chronos, Naja was Zachsy was doing a good job on the Chronos the last game, so taking that away from him was pretty good. There was just a lot of CC setup for Kingdom having the Chronos, so that makes sense. Naja's going to set up Scylla beautifully.
Yep.
The Athena Soul is going to be a good idea in the laning phase as well, of trying to find that early poke.
I like the idea from Versace though, coming with 2 different game plans. They tried the sustain comp, didn't start off well. What's the attempt number 2? Okay, let's go with Naja and Scylla for the wombo combo there. What support would you like to see go with that though?
For Versace, there's a few options. Sobek would be one of them. Kumbhakarna is usually the best option because if you can find somebody in that epic uppercut, waiting for you is going to be Amma Monster. And the damage from epic uppercut alone in the early stages with Amma Monster should be enough for just those 2 abilities to get the reset on Amma Monster.
Well, last ban coming through for Kingdom Esports here, so hopefully soon. And then we can see Jingwei, Amaterasu banned out by Versace Taskforce as well. And the backer support also taken away. So Kingdom definitely focusing on the supports now that they've got the Athena. Kind of gives the game away. Athena's more than likely in the support role.
And Kingdom was thinking the same way I was with that Kumbhakarna ban. Very smart support ban away. So going to have to lean on more of the Sobeks, maybe Ymir potentially, but it's going to be the Sylvanus, which also has a great setup, right? You have the Root, which doesn't have diminishing returns off a Naja stun, the time stop coming from Chronos, and as well, there's going to be a decent amount of damage over time for the Sylvanus.
I want to see where he goes with the build though, because he's going to deal with an Erlang Shen with the pins, which is great against a Sylvanus anyway. His mobility is already limited. And the Athena as well with the taunts and the taunts from Erlang Shen. He's going to take a lot of poke this game. I could potentially even see him going purification just for safety.
I agree, but there is some CC immunity with his ultimate. So if he wants to, he can wait for the Athena to dash and then instantly use his ultimate as the taunt is coming out. The timing would have to be very clutch and crucial for Versace to take advantage of this Athena, and there would be so much follow-up off of that with this Scylla.
Well, the Sol and Ullr means that one of them is going mid, one's going Hunter roll. I'm expecting Sol in the mid lane here, which means it's Erlang, Shen, and Sol, so they can actually find the pin combo into the Scylla burst. There's a lot of burst damage they can do, but latent clear and pressure is okay as well.
Knowing Coviiii, though, specifically, and Zachsy, you never really know between these 2 players, right? We've seen a lot of Ullrs in middle before, and synergizing with Erlang Shen, trying to get that jungle control, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Ullr because he has a little bit more ability damage in the earlier stages, but in the mid game, I would definitely prefer to have Sol around that Gold Fury.
Well, Kingdom Esports are up 1-0 now in a best of 3. The winner of this one, if it is Kingdom, they will advance to the next stage, and straight away, though, Versace have managed to catch Camping Solo out of position, and he was giggling away there in the Pokemon uniform, but he took a lot of free poke and he was forced into transformations, which he wouldn't have liked to have started with.
But that's so smart that he held on to that point for as long as possible. He ate the stun. He ate the root. But once he ate that time stop, he's like, all right, guys, fine. I'll get my turtle form. You got me. I'm barely going to lose any clear anyway. You overcommitted a bunch of abilities. Let's go.
I'm not sure what we saw actually come out from the Scylla and the Naja there just for wave clear at the start of the game. But I think they could have actually picked him off if they all went for their CC, but I don't think they did, which I think is wise because it won't hurt them in the
Absolutely.
start.
We did see the crush coming out of Rafee. He didn't really want to go for that chain CC form because that would really hurt his clear. So, and that's going to limit some of the possibilities coming out of Versace because we saw the time stop coming out of Sueno, and without time rift, having such a significant shorter cooldown, you're normally able to get off multiple cooldowns during the buff clears.
And that early aggression coming out from Versace there stops the invade coming out from Kingdom Esports as well. Very important for them after what happened at the start of the last game as well. Using yoyoabc on the Vamana one more time has taken the Wrath again, so they've got a bit of a decent clear on this right-hand side and should hit lane a little bit quicker.
It makes sense for Kingdom to do this because they want to get to the laning phase as early as possible, control it, and then have both Yo-Yo and Camping Solo rotate towards those elementals and maybe the right side mid-Harpies, maybe looking for an early pick.
And the right Harpies have a spawn and they're being done by Versace right now, but here's the yoyoabc rotating, as you said. Not going to be there in time though, looking for the pin. Instead, they will default to the fire elementals, which is definitely a win.
Which is still a lot of gold to both the solo and the jungle on Kingdom. They could potentially look for a fight on the mid and the left side mid-Harpies as this comes out. Naja is very powerful, but hitting level 3 first is the Erlang.
Very, very important for them to do that as well. That mid lane clear is so important for those left-hand Harpies that are still available here. Whoever whoever gets that clear in the mid area will get those left-hand harpies. And looking at that, Kingdom, who were later to that fight overall in the mid, are actually going to arrive first.
So now Camping Solo looking for an early pick, finds a double knock-up. The Stellar Burst connecting onto Nasha, not having the ultimate quite yet. Ring bounces is good, and that's going to be the safety by getting the root cripple and the steroid, the body block of Rafee.
But it's not enough to find the kill there. I love a couple of calls. Stellar Burst will get first blood there for Coviiii overall. Camping Solo played that actually really well. I love the decision making from him. Charges through and then gets a big distance between himself and his soul, so the ring bounce can't be used. However, response from Naja held the ring bounce until a little bit later, which helped him escape.
And he almost actually died from the body blocking of Rafee. It was good and bad at the same time because he was trying to absorb the cooldowns, but now Rob the Bob taking a lot of poke. Going to be able to sustain that back up, but heading back into the mid lane was Rafee body blocking.
Solo coming around the back, and the tree doesn't see it coming right now. Zachsy took a lot of free pokes there, however, with Camping Solo coming in, he will pick up the kill, and Sueno on the Chronos at level 4 is not going to have a rewind to escape a 4-man gang.
Not at all. And this is what happens when your mid collapses upon itself. The rest of the team is going to take one side or the other. Great recognition from Kingdom, abusing the fact that Rob the Bob and Sueno were so overextended in the dual lane. Once you lose control in the mid jungle, you have to immediately respect that control, wait for the aggression from Kingdom, and then go on the opposite side. yoyoabc with a solo kill onto Dr. Flik.
And we've got Rafee in the jungle who's trying to solo the back harpies of the enemy team and dies.
Level 3, suiciding under that tier 1 mid tower. That's his second death already, and that's going to allow Coviiii to hit level 5, having that 2-level gap, and that's going to be very problematic for a Scylla, because playing from behind, you're relying on the magical burst damage, right? You have to be able to play with your teammates. A nice little dash down, just not on the mark quite yet. Great separation by Eric.
Not right now, but there's no reason for it to try and take down this tower now. Let's just go in the jungle, look for buffs. They know the red buff is coming up on the left-hand side here, Kingdom. And Coviiii, though, he's just going to look for damage, because if he hits, if he hits the mid lane of Rafee there, Rafee's going to fall again.
But just now poking out Eric is a great opportunity to allow the Erlang Shen so much safety to steal this speed buff, and immediately going into the blue buff invade with that solo kill earlier on from Yo-Yo. There's going to be no way that Dr. Flik can really contest this one.
Real bait on the right-hand side there as McSaltyCakes joins up with Coviiii in the mid lane here, trying to apply some more pressure. And look for the red buff, which was already taken there, given over to Sueno. Dr. Flik on this right-hand side, though, is under pressure again with Camping Solo following through as well. You saw him already use the overhead kick. He gets chunked a bit, but good decision not to use your ultimate. Didn't over-panic there.
Just a great response again by Kingdom. They find the poke, they look for the invade. This is going to also be a bait, though, because Dr. Flik gets taunted in. The root cripple, waiting for the knockup. They could look for it, and that's going to be another death for Dr. Flik. Yo-Yo with a huge lead after that blue buff invade.
Yeah, great little work from Camping Solo there with the knockup, but I would have liked to see him body block. He needs to recognize they're available to him. He could have body blocked a little bit more, force out a few more abilities before doing that knockup overall. He's just going to work on that combo a little bit better. It's a great combo that he's playing well, but nice little ultimate to get away there from Chaotic
Just
Eric.
barely able to squeeze on by through those two characters from Kingdom Esports, and now the rest of Versace, they have to retreat under their tier 2 tower. They lost their speed buff, they lost their blue buff, they're losing their lives, and they have no response. They're already down 2,500 gold.
Yeah, it's a huge amount in terms of a lead for Kingdom Esports early on here, especially when there was nothing going on in the start of the game. They didn't get invaded this time around. They've just basically lost straight up matchups here.
And the experience is going to get really out of control here if there's no response into Kingdom's way. They need to find the right farming opportunities. They need to start aggressively warding, spot out the rotations from Kingdom, and look for response on the opposite side of the map. And then on top of this, once the rotations from Yo-Yo come out on the left-hand side, that's how you know Kingdom is going to start these Gold Furies.
Definitely. 6-0 right now, and keep an eye on those Gold Furies. However, there's a bait from Versace themselves here. Great pull over the wall onto Coviiii, and the crush does damage, but it's not a whole lot. Coviii's still alive because of Disapparate and the Supernova buying time. Duking around, Stellar Burst on 3 targets, taking on the world, and we will fall down at the end there. Nearly. Rafee was caught out of position there, nearly paid for his life.
And now it's going to be Yo-Yo chasing down Dr. Flik yet again. The ultimate is available if he wants to use it over the wall, but he's going to use it on top of Yo-Yo, trying to box him out, getting the root, getting the punch, but he's still really low, waiting for the cooldown reset. Yo-Yo gets off the last in hand to get the 3rd death on Dr. Flik.
Chaotic Eric in the mid lane will fall down as well there, but I do like that trade between the solo lanes. Dr. Flik's just going to work out about how to play against yoyoabc, because what ABC did there was move away until his cooldowns were back up. When his cooldowns were refreshed, all Flik had to do was recognize that. He could have potentially done the same thing.
I don't mind the idea that Dr. Flik had trying to go for that hit there, but he needs to optimize it a little bit better. Rob the Bob's taking a lot of poke. They're going to sustain it back up, but on the backhand side, Camping Solo gets rooted out, preventing the knockup, but now it's McSaltyCakes in a lot of trouble with this rotation from Sueno, but he's going to be safe.
Really good work from Sueno there. Got a lot of damage off, but it's still too early game for Chronos to really hurt the Athena for the time being there. Had no follow-up from his team available either, so 8-1, 6.5 minutes in.
Without any single Gold Fury on top of this is going to be very interesting to see how Kingdom are going to start forcing these Gold Furies. Left-hand side, we see Ullr making the rotation, but probably optimizing the wave instead. But nice little taunt onto Chaotic Eric. Yo-Yo is here, finding the knockup, still holding on to some of his cooldowns, but now it's McSaltyCakes in a little bit of trouble. The ultimate is available.
Good ultimate there coming out from Chaotic Eric at the same time, looking for the damage from maybe Rafee to come down as well and find the kill. McSaltyCakes does fall to Dr. Flik there as Chaotic Eric still trying to get away from ABC, but he should fall down any second.
And without any escape with the ultimate, having a lot of difficulty, even trying to get off as much damage as possible. Could have used the ring bounces to get some movement speed off of those Fire Giant Elementals.
Monster from Coviiii does get hit by it, but unfortunately not enough damage there for Rafee at only level 7 to secure the kill.
If he was level 9, maybe that would be a kill there. The Root Crush combination needs to be hit just to get him a little bit lower in that execute threshold, but yet again, another blue buff being stripped away from Dr. Flik. We have 3 deaths now. His ultimate is available. He needs to use it to get over the wall. Finally using it. The Umbrella Ring, though, not on the mark. The dive is about to happen. The taunt is good. The in-hands will confirm the kill soon.
No, they're trying to give the kill over to somebody else here, and it's going to cost them potentially a free kill for themselves on that right-hand side there. The body blocks were good coming out from Kingdom Esports, but being greedy, looking for kills like that instead of winning a game when it's high competition, you deserve to die.
The lazy back. Nobody called out the rotation coming out of Rafee, and Sueno also gets a kill onto Zachsy with the rotation coming from Rob the Bob. So a few more kills on the side of Versace, getting back on the scoreboard. Also, making sure Dr. Flik didn't die there was so crucial, because now they're going to have a little bit of pressure on the right-hand side, being able to strip away the blue and the speed if they wanted to.
Next up, Sylvanus on the list, taunted into danger as well. The damage coming out from Coviiii is very, very strong in this mid lane. A couple more hits will do it. The Wisps are ticking away, though. Round the back, however, comes Sueno now, because Coviiii is overextended.
And now it's Dr. Flik overextended. He doesn't have his ultimate. yoyoabc will try to chase him down. He has enough movement speed to make this happen. He had the Armored Umbrella and the Umbrella rank to confirm the kill.
And meanwhile, on the left-hand side, back to the action again. Coviiii still out of position here. Does finally fall down to Sueno after the rotation from Chaotic Eric as well. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, camping solo, doing his speed buff.
And with Dr. Flik being dead, that's going to allow Yo-Yo to put a lot of pressure onto this tier 1 tower on the right-hand side. Already less than half health, not even the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, really good situation for Kingdom Esports to be in, though. But at the same time, they're not really showing respect to their opposition or learning to get ahead and actually develop a proper lead. They're the bottom of the SCL in North America out of 6 teams. And they're trolling, for the most part, against this team from the Challenger Cup and messing around, dropping kills that shouldn't be done. It could come back to bite him in the ass.
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of random skirmishes in the jungle at this point in time. They're trying to get whatever they can at this point. You know, finding a pick here, finding a pick there. Once they start grouping up, that's when things are going to get really serious for Kingdom. They already have a decent goalie with all their picks in that tier 1 tower on the right, and now off of the taunt from Athena, they should be able to get more picks, and then there's gold.
But nobody was with McSaltyCakes there, so the taunt is down and he's up in the sky. Waiting on landing is Rob the Bob with a very good ultimate that picks up McSaltyCakes. Now they're chasing after Chaotic Eric through the jungle towards the mid lane tower. He's getting very low, and yoyoabc with the Umbrella Rank will pick up the kill.
It's going to be 1-for-1 right-hand side. Dr. Flik still trying to get more experience under his belt. He's 4 levels behind Yo-Yo. This is the only thing he could really do, because he's just not going to be as useful in these team fights. Get some more gold under your team's bank, but immediately in response, Kingdom getting that gold here with another Raf. Same exact theme as the first game.
4,500 gold lead for Kingdom Esports here. 5,000 experience as well. Very strong position for Kingdom Esports to be in at just 10 minutes in the game.
They're still trying to look for something, though, despite losing that gold here. They see that Zachsy is very low. They could potentially look for a dive if they wanted to. The rewind is not available, though, so pretty smart. However, the rotation from Rob the Bob not in time to stop the back.
Doesn't get caught there. Rafee in the mid lane at level 9 to the level 11 of Coviiii on the Soul. Still working towards more than likely a Chronos pendant there, I want to say, as Dr. Flik was cheekily looking for some steals in the jungle. Not going to find anything, though. Camping solo wants to fight him again.
And this is what you have to do if you're Kingdom. You have this gold lead. You have, more importantly, the experience lead. Look for these engagements, especially before Scylla gets into the late game form, trying to get that Chronos pendant, like you mentioned. I highly doubt that's going to be an early Rada to Hootie, but now it's going to be both junglers fighting each other out. It's going to find the root but
Did
not
use
much
his
more
ultimate
follow-up,
there.
though.
So 2 ultimates coming out from Kingdom Esports there, and just 1 root from Rafee will save the day.
And now in mid lane, a nice little double taunt connecting. Camping Solo trying to dive Supernova a little bit off the mark, but doing a lot of poke. Not in time was Rob the Bob for the sustain. And now the rest of Kingdom pushing down tier 1 mid. Forced it back is Eric.
The tier 1 tower will fall down in the mid lane, right-hand side. Yo-Yo going at it with Flik one more time. There's no tower available here for the Doctor to fall back to just yet. So has his ultimate available, though may have to use it very soon if this continues from Yo-Yo.
He had to use it over the blue buff there, but the rest of the team from Kingdom is going to make the rotation, not having the physical defense to really survive these trades. We see the breastplate finish for Yo-Yo, but that's only a tier 2. And now from the backhand side, Camping Solo, but McSaltyCakes gets picked off in mid by Sueno.
Chance for Sueno and the boys of Versace to come back into this. Good rewind coming out from him is in the sky. Eric has taken 1 up and comes crashing down with Zachsy dead on arrival. yoyoabc next on the list. Forced a big baby, getting very, very low right now, but the sustain is kicking in, and Coviiii picks up Bob.
But the ultimate coming from the Scylla just not on the mark. Should have went on to Yo-Yo instead, so that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. And now Rafee, he's going to follow as well. Now with Kingdom grouping up, they're finally winning these team fights despite losing 2 members earlier on. This is what they need to do. Just be grouped up, man.
Keep grouping up and keep putting the pressure on. They're going to manage to pick up 1 here, though. Versace again. Dr. Flik taking out yoyoabc, and Eric still rotating around, trying to live for as long as he can. By doing that, though, he does allow his team to pick up Coviiii.
This is just absolute madness. It doesn't seem that Kingdom really know what's going on. They're just kind of fighting in like a team deathmatch arena, but they're going to be able to try to dive Dr. Flik. Nice little juke, but can't juke out 2 dashes in a row.
For the most part, you're right. It is just an arena fight over absolutely nothing right now. The tier 2 towers are available, tier 1 on the left-hand side as well. Plenty of farm on the board. I mean, at 12 minutes in and you're fighting when you could be getting experience like Zachsy is doing right now, for example, it takes the game a lot longer to close out and put the pressure on.
18-10 reads the score. Kingdom with a decent lead right now, about 5,000. Golfier going to respawn in about 2.5 minutes, and that's something that Kingdom really want to try to do if they want to start closing this one out.
Well, on the left-hand side, both the Hunters back in there as well. McSaltyCakes was still contesting those left-hand Harpies. Red buff has spawn and speed for Kingdom Esports here as well. So those buffs online will give me a extra bit of damage and some extra speed as well.
I expect more grouping up from Kingdom now. With Yo-Yo finishing off this Transcendence, he's going to have a huge mana pool to be able to really spam these abilities. It really synergizes well with that Breastplate of Valor, giving you the cooldowns, as well as being able to dive that backline. We see Scylla still at level 11, just not having the damage that Versace really needs out of her. Just now finishing off that Chronos pendant, which is an interesting pickup coming out of Scylla because you're normally relying on some setup, but off of the Nausea, you have to go for the burst instead of the constant spamming of abilities.
Well, this speed buff is just spawned for Versace here, and you can see Kingdom Esports grouping up to look to steal it and fight against it. Dr. Flik forced on the right-hand side, the taunt missing there thanks to the overhead kick, but ABC doesn't care. He's straight to the backline, looking towards Eric as well. The crush comes out, and the monsters popped as well from Rafee. Doesn't find a home there. Captain Sobo takes a lot of damage on the Erlang Shen, but the turtle comes into play.
And now Erlang Shen running away. Zachsy running away from Sueno. Rob the Bob cannot run away from Yo-Yo. First victim now, McSaltyCakes buying time with a nice little dash away. Rafee falls to the Supernova. Yo-Yo confirming onto Eric. Another member is going to die once Flik is dead. That's going to be 4 members dead. Sueno's the only one alive and Camping Solo dies to the Invader Tower.
Hey, you dive too far, sometimes that happens to you as well. Meanwhile, Sueno is trying to farm up to the late game. I like the idea from the lad. There's not a whole lot he can do if his team's failing elsewhere. Just farm, 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 and try and stay ahead of your hunter you're against.
Somebody has to do it. We saw in the last game when he was playing that soul, he was doing a good job keeping up the pace with Zachsy. This game, yet again, he found the solo kill onto Zachsy earlier on. Actually, it wasn't a solo kill. It was a gank with Rob the Bob. They exploited Zachsy's over-aggression, and that's why we see this kind of a lead 1 level for Sueno.
And you talk about the over-aggression here. Well, Sueno at the moment on level 15, you can see the levels of the mid laners there. They're a lot lower overall, or at least even, which is showing that he's doing a very good job of just continuing to farm up here. However, yoyoabc with the teleport coming in, going to meet up against the Chronos. Stunned in place, but the knock-up hit home, so he couldn't follow up the damage. Sash comes out from Eric as well, forcing out the big baby, and the big baby's going to force the rewind coming out from Chronos. Rafee comes around the corner, doesn't really do anything with the crush, gets a lot of free damage onto him from the ultimate from yoyoabc.
1v3, no fury at all from Yo-Yo, avoiding every single ability. He doesn't have the ultimate, also avoiding I'm a monster. Now Rob the Bob trying to confirm this kill with his ultimate. He's going to throw out the wisps. The sash is good. The ultimate is even better. And Yo-Yo over aggressive, but out of position is the Chronos, and that's going to be a 1-for-1.
Well, they used everything to bring down yoyoabc, so like lambs to the slaughter. Versace are in a lot of trouble here as well, just trying to duke out the abilities, but the taunts are there coming through. McSaltyCakes gets credit for chaotic Eric, and now the boys of Kingdom can march down for a tier 2 on left.
2-for-1 so far. The Sylvanus is a little bit low. It's going to be a 3-for-1. McSaltyCakes dashing in with camping solo, trying to find that 4th member dead. It's going to be Rafee first. This could be a deicide if Dr. Flik falls here.
No, he will ult away to safety, but the tier 2 tower will not be able to do the same thing. It will fall down, and they can look for the Phoenix on left now with so many members dead for the next 15 plus seconds.
That's a great play coming out of them. They're not going to be able to hit the taunt here. Dr. Flip trying to buy time, but can't run away from that Stellar Burst. And now Kingdom switching to the Phoenix after the deicide. They have the Soul, they have the Ullr, they get the Phoenix, the pre-17-minute mark. Great plays coming out of Kingdom once they finally started grouping up.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, they just forced Versace into a brawl in the jungle for the most of the time, and because of the level lead that they established in the early game, well, it was only ever going to go one way there, totally, especially when you realize how much investment they put into finding a single kill, and it still don't even find it.
Pick objective, pick objective, pick objective. That's exactly what Kingdom are doing here. They have themselves an 11,000 gold lead, and after this one, it's going to be about 13 after getting that left side Phoenix, which is the most important Phoenix in the game. I really like the play out of Kingdom. Now they put themselves in a position where they can even start going for Fire Giant once they back and spend all that gold in hand.
yoyoabc just 2-shot Rafee to that much health there in the mid lane, and he's going to continue chasing, knowing that Sentinel's down with Athena coming in as well. He does get the root off, and the Iron Monster does not find the home, and Rafee, well, he's going to find his home. He's still the Fountain.
It's so easy to abuse this level 12 Scylla at this point in time, forcing out the Purification from Zachsy, able to jump away. The ultimate not on the mark. Zachsy with the Aussie passive and the Ullr stance could have potentially boxed that out, but it's going to be Sylvanus dead yet again. 2 members dead. The taunt onto Eric. 3rd one dead. They do trade out Zachsy, however, so they're going to be able to continue this one.
But Flik gets taunted and rooted in place. Ult's in place as well, so that's going to be a dead man soon for Ravana. Sueno comes up to the mid lane as well, gets taunted into place, knocked up by yoyoabc, rewinds underneath the tower, going to regen to full health, gets all his cooldowns back, but now he's got no tower left.
He doesn't have that tier 2 as the rest of Kingdom do take that one out. We saw the Ravana barely able to sprint away from that madness, but now it's going to be the rest of Kingdom trying to chase down Sueno, the highest level of the game for Versace.
Really good play from Kingdom Esports here. They're going to move on by the looks of it to the next round to potentially come to the regionals, but they've got an uphill battle still to climb.
They definitely do. If they win this one, they're going to win the best of 3, 2-0. They're going to be met with Elevate. We'll see if they're going to be able to continue this kind of a dominant play, though, because right now, it doesn't seem that Versace have necessarily the cohesion as some of the other SCL teams have.
Fire Giant being done by Kingdom as yoyoabc keeps the whole of Versace busy on the left-hand side instead. The little baby just looks too tempting to try and kill.
This is something that Yo-Yo really likes to do. He's just going to be an absolute nuisance. A nice little ultimate. He doesn't even have to worry about I'm a monster because it's a level 12 Scylla. Even if that did connect, that wouldn't do enough damage. Now Fire Giant buff being taken. The Athena ultimate absolutely devastating Rafee. And now they're not done yet. They're going to go straight onto Chaotic Eric.
What a man. What a player. What a guy. yoyoabc, 15-2. Potentially 16-2 right now.
You're going to be able to continue the force, just baiting out the Athena ever so slightly. Dr. Flip took the bait, still wants the kill, and you're not going to find it, buddy. Yo-Yo with a 17th kill of the game.
The best player in the game. yoyoabc at 19 minutes in, 35-12. The Phoenix still down on the left. They can look for the middle Phoenix here as well. As you can see, Camping Solo has pushed it up to allow them to look to siege it down.
This is the best thing that you want to do is you don't want to go straight for the Titan. The respawn timers are a little bit too low for Versace. You have the late game tankiness out of Yo-Yo. You have the late game damage out of Coviiii and Zachsy. Get these objectives after the picks, but Yo-Yo too far out. Raid Boss is down. Zachsy just 2-shotting Rafee.
And now the Phoenix is under threat as well. Zachsy takes a lot more shots than he needs to there, but with Coviiii there, it won't take long to bring down the Phoenix. 2 members alive at the moment for Versace. Minions pouring in from the left-hand side. Minions from the middle as well. Eric taking a trade with Camping Solo, and he eats a Stellar Burst from Coviiii.
And now it's going to be another dash taunt onto Dr. Flip. That's going to be another member dead. As 4 members are dead. The only one standing is Sueno. The highest level of the game still for Versace, able to be the farmer of the team, and that's something that Versace really need to look at this set. It's their ability to farm, because they can't always take these losing fights.
Yeah, I will say Versace Taskforce there for the most part. I love their picks and bans. I think they're actually really strong there. They've done their research, they've done homework, and they look very strong there. Communication as a team, a little bit different, and obviously on top of that, when you look at how that game went for themselves, they lost heart, and when the heart was gone, they didn't care anymore.
Their heart just was not in it, unfortunately, as some other people would say, but it's going to be now Kingdom Esports advancing through the first stage of the Gauntlet over Versace Taskforce. Up next, we're going to have Kingdom Esports against Elevate.
And it will be a best of 3 again here, so Elevate have the equal shot against Kingdom to move on. Whoever wins that one will definitely move on to the regionals as well. Let's have a look back at some of the amazing plays from those games. Let's start off with, how about yoyoabc, who had that crazy kill score?
It was also about the Erlang Shen onto camping solo. He was doing a great job in the first and second game. Obviously, having that invade helped yoyoabc against the Guanyu. In the second game, it was just about a boxing match. It was a great repositioning from Yoyo, waiting for his cooldowns, found the armor, the barrel, and the last in-hand right before Dr. Flik confirmed the kill.
I think Flik should have got that kill there, actually. You saw that last hit that he just missed. That was a free kill, actually. yoyoabc got very lucky with that, but he made it work worthwhile, and then defending his own blue buff, the cancel of his ultimate there just to close the gap a little bit more. You don't want to say in Big Baby too much because you don't get that extra mobility from your dash.
Unfortunately, Dr. Flik playing the Ravana didn't get the counter matchup that he really wanted to. There was just too much pressure in his lane. Once the middle collapsed, the rest of the game collapsed, unfortunately, for Versace. They lost the left side middle after we saw Rafee getting picked very early on that Scylla.
I just feel with Kingdom's performance there as well, it wasn't really a good warm-up for them in my eyes. They could have put the pressure on a lot better and focused a lot harder instead of having fun with that game, just because of the fact that this is a qualification match to go to relegations as well.
We'll see if they adapt their strategies a little bit between this and the next one, because they were prioritizing the Erlang Shen on camping solo. We saw it being first picked in that second game. Now, he was making a lot of plays, and I like the tanky front line coming out of Kingdom Esports, being able to really synergize with the heavy magical burst style that they have.
I will say Camping Solo was probably the best player on this team this game. His performance and the rotations were very, very strong. I love the decisions on the knockups and things. Still got things to learn on the Erlang Shen, but doesn't everyone at this stage? I mean, he's still a relatively new god.
I thought you said Yoyo was the best person on that team.
Kill-wise.
17, 2, and 4? Well, actually, he had the third death at the end there.
He did.
What a feeder.
What a feeder. Well, that's it from Kingdom Esports, or is it? They'll be back after the break. Or maybe not. I may have got it wrong. Apologies, we went a bit too early there. I'm like, wow, that was an interesting one overall with the Kingdom Esports game. So I expect it to be over there, but I guess not. Well, I guess we've got more things to talk about.
Absolutely. Now, Elevate, though, even though they don't have the warm-up necessarily as Kingdom do, they do have the strategies written down just to see what they did in that previous set. So that's one little tactic.
Did they really show anything, though? I guess that's the real thing here. Did it really
invade?
Kingdom?
Now they're going to be ready for the invade. They're going to see that Vamana was heavily prioritized. Erlang Shen was heavily prioritized. We saw the Habwa in that first game. So that's something that we could see Elevate adapt to, because Elevate, they do like the Habwa as well.
Yeah, they do like the Habwa, and the Habwa could be a real issue for them. But as I said, Kingdom will move on to face Elevate. It'll be back after the break.